what he did in his private life and all that, I have no clue. I know he was found innocent by the courts. And that's enough for me. And I've also heard some other things about the kids who made. Doesn't matter. The point is, Michael Jackson. My heart's a little sad though, because the movie, coming from a great director, Anton Fuqua, made Training Day, made all the wonderful Equalizer films with Denzel, sitting at a 33% Rotten Tomatoes score. Now, that's okay, because a lot of reviewers are upset about it, saying they didn't dive in. It is a love letter to Michael Jackson. It is not there to dive in deep to the warts and all of the guy. You may as well call it a concert motion picture, but I'm going to see it. I loved the guy's music. I loved his performance. I loved his talent. I was inspired by the guy. Even Captain EO. Hooter hit the red button. Hee. Shimon, right now, according to the poll that we have running, are you going to go see the Michael Jackson film? The majority of you are getting your tushes out to go see The King of Pop. 17% yes, 38% no, 46 big percent Shimon. I bet Corey Feldman will be there day one. Looking forward to it. We are about to start the show. Before we do, I want to say thank you so much for some of our very early and very generous benefactors. Juicy Booch, thank you so much for the super chat. Hardcore Darkness, thank you so much for sending 10 of our viewers, granting them the joy of 10 Jaffe memberships. And then, of course, our very own, I don't know why we own him now. He's not a living person. He's a robot. Remo the Turk, thank you for the 5 gifted members. We very much appreciate it here. Thank you guys for keeping this show rolling along. Now, we have a mixture. We have a potpourri. We have a veritable cornucopia of topics today. There's going to be some game stuff, but we're also going to get into some other stuff. Now, there's 2 reasons for this. The first reason is there's not a lot of game news going on. The second reason for this is I recognize the fact that I don't give a shit about most video game news. Now, some video game news, yes. Do I give a shit about video games? Very much so. More than I ever have, even when I was making them. I love them more now than I ever have. I'm so fucking tired of these little people. There are people out there talk to you all day about video games. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. The first is, of course, my good friends over at Retro Game Treasure. These nice folks, and I let me give you the pitch first, but you can find their links going up and down the chat. You can also find them below and about this video. These nice folks over at Retro Game Treasure will handpick based on a number of criteria that you enter into their newfangled computer program over there. Did you ever see that movie, Hidden Figures, about the ladies who made us get to the moon and back? The same ladies who programmed the retro game. I don't know if that's true, but in my fantasies, Retro Game Treasures, they'll send you 3 to 5 retro games going all the way back to Atari based on the systems, the genres, the games you don't already own, what you're looking for. We are going to be playing. They sent me a box. They put a box together about games that were that inspired the design of God of War 1 in 2005. I have been trying to play these for 2 weeks on the stream, and my capture card finally is the culprit. I've ordered multiple component cables to HDMI. That's not the problem. Today, I realized it was the Elgato. I'm ordering a new one. It should be here in the next few days. This will be happening very soon. But I'll give you a sneak peek, my friends. This is what they put together that we'll be playing, and I'll explain in the stream how these inspired the God of War 1 game. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. You goddamn right. Look at this. Look at this goddamn beauty right here. All of these are guaranteed to work. Some even come with manuals. If you're a collector, you can tell them that is a requirement. I didn't care. Onimusha 3, you goddamn right. Look at this. Rygar, people accuse us of ripping off Rygar. We didn't, but I want to play this and talk about it because it was inspiring in certain ways. And then finally, come on now. Hang on. Women can't code your what? Hang on. Let me read that in a minute. Come on now. Well, this one doesn't even want to come out of the box. It's embarrassed. Godai Elemental Force, one of the worst games of the PS2 generation, and I will explain to you why that game is on there when we play later in the week. So it will be getting another box. I think it's going to be underrated horror games that we're going to be doing this box number 2. But we got to get this pipeline running and working. Please go over there. That's our first big boy sponsor. We love those guys over there. They make a great product. It's tailor-made for the people who watch this kind of show. Go over there sometime today, click on it, and see if it might be a product you are interested in. Gun says there's too much Godai hate on this channel. Well, now it's not very good. And that's the reason I had him put it in the box, and I told him about it. But we'll talk about that on the actual stream. Listen, I also want to let you know that there's a link at the bottom. If you want to call in on your phone or your computer, you can call in right now or anytime during the show. I'll bring you on. Just have something interesting to talk about. What I don't want you to do is call in and be like, what's up? And then I'm like, I don't know. What's up? I don't know. I'm just calling your show. I'm like, okay. So hopefully, we'll have a nice conversation. I would appreciate that. Okay. Waiting for Godai. Come on now. That's a smart joke. We do have some weird news. We do have some weird news coming up today as well. Okay. Let's begin, my friends. Let me get a sip of the bubbly. Let me settle in. Don't stop till you get enough. All right. Hello, Robert Odell. Nice to see you, pal. All right. Settle. We got to focus, Jaffe. I didn't get high yesterday. It was 4:20. I got my Caminos all ready to go yesterday. And I was too busy. I was too goddamn busy, and I just couldn't get around to it. That's the truth. Awesome Tatum says you could be Carlos says you could be less rude to callers who don't know Jaffe. No, I couldn't. It's not that I'm rude. Look, this is what I don't understand about some of you people. What do you mean, you people? I mean, you people. This is what I don't understand. My job is to entertain our audience, however big they are or small they are. I take that serious. And if somebody calls in and they're just like saying nothing, I'm going to get them off the goddamn show. I don't have a call screener, right? So if you actually call in and ask yourself how moronic you must be to call into a show like this without anything to say. How am I the bad guy there when I call them out on that? That I don't understand, my delightful friends. Listen to this. This sounds like a great deal of fun. They are not the first movie to do interactivity in a theater, but in the past, it's been a lot of, you had to have special seats and controls. Now it's all on the phone. I don't think this is the beginning of any kind of trend, but I'm glad to see it. This is the biggest one they've released. It's an interactive slasher movie called Slay Day. It is about Sadie Hawkins. If you don't know, Sadie Hawkins is the woman who inspired the Sadie Hawkins dance, which I think is the dance that the girls ask the guys. It's an 80s inspired slasher film. Sadie Hawkins, basically, they find her coffin, they dig her up, her ghost comes back, starts killing off the teens at the Sadie Hawkins dance. There are over, I think, 8,000 permutations that you can make with your cell phone, 8,000 possible narrative outcomes, 50 decision points that audience members can vote in real time via their smartphones to steer the story. Now, I 100% get that this is probably not going to be a very good film, but I do think this is going to be a very good film time at the movies, right? So I plan on seeing it. I'm excited. It comes out next year, February 12th, 2027. So we're a little less than a year away. It stars some people I don't know. There are a lot of horror people, Mother's Day, VHS 99, Circles, whatever. So that's coming soon. I'm looking forward to it. Recent episodes, says Doug, have been more gabbing in movies than gabbing in games. Yeah, because I'm look, I have made a commitment. Let me talk about how committed I am to this beautiful show. I have made a commitment, right? I have said, look, I want to be there for this audience. When I say I'm going to be there, I want to be there more regularly. But what I cannot do is be here regularly if I show up to talk only about video games, unless the news is scintillating. And we do have some scintillating video game news we're about to get to. But look, there's nothing wrong with the people who spend a lot of time talking about video game news. God love them. People love those people. But when I see their videos going up, in fact, let me fucking show you. Let me fucking show you this one thing I saw on the YouTube today. Hang on, I got this was the thing that really made me go. I just can't do it if I'm not going to also be talking about other things. There was a guy, really successful guy, like the guy. I'd never met him, but he seems like really good at what he does. What's this guy's name? Luke Ross, or I don't fucking know. His video game guy. What's that guy's name? Luke. Did my mouse just fucking crash? I'll tell you what. I've been having all kinds of technical problems. All right. So everything's working but my mouse. I just changed the battery. My mouse is dead. Hang on. Yeah, we are definitely going to be talking all about Game Pass in a second, of course. Luke Stevens is his name. Yeah. Now, why did my mouse just die? Luke Stevens is his name. Real successful video game YouTube guy. Not a thing in the world wrong with this young fella. But I saw one of his videos today served up to me on YouTube, and I was just like, I'm glad he's doing the Lord's work because I couldn't do it. What was his? Why in the fuck is my mouse dying? Yeah, Luke is great, says K-Nubs. Yeah, no issues with the man. He's clearly good at what he does. He loves what he does. I think that's just good news for everybody all around. But let me find this video I wanted to tell you about. Luke Stevens Live, maybe is that his name? Yeah. Like, okay, people putting out videos like Naughty Dog's writing in the George Lucas effect. 50,000 views. Xbox Game Pass price cut and COD no longer coming day one. 25,000 views. You know, no issues, no problems. But my God, if I had to fucking talk about that all day long, whoo, Lordy, pick a bail. Come on now. So what we're going to talk about instead, but we are going to talk, let me, I might have to go get another battery. This is really bad. Let's talk about Xbox, for a little bit though. Let's just talk about this, briefly. I will say this. I will say that, what's her name? Ashka, Ahsoka, whatever her name is. She seems to be making, here's what we're going to do. I'll be right back. I got to get another battery. It's got to be the battery. I'll be right back. Enjoy the visual stylings of my background. I'll ask you a trivia question when I come back about something in my background. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's my trivia question. Hang on. Please work. Please clap. All right, we're in business. My trivia question is, what character from Twisted Metal is in the background with a picture of my children? First one to get it wins. I'll hold my breath. I will play replaced. Absolutely. It's not a jacket. It's a robe, you son of a bitch. The Twisted Metal watch party. I don't know. You just sprung it on me yesterday, which I very much appreciate, by the way, Rocker Matt, but I haven't had time to schedule it. I'll let you know in the next day or two. Okay. So anyway, it's Dollface. Dollface. There you go. Okay. So this woman, Asha Sharma, is doing really, I don't know if she's doing well or not, but she's obviously making some waves over at Xbox. How performative they are versus, meaningful, I don't know. But she does, what I liked about it is there was a leaked email, and the leaked email where she was talking about all the changes they need to make at Xbox to be successful, this, that, and the other. She said, one of the things I really liked that she says, the player does the dirty work of discovery, relevance, and the social features not being top notch. Sharma confesses that players have to work hard to find out what to do next or who to play with. You can say it's leaked in quotes. I'm going to go with the official word, which it's leaked, but I don't fucking know. Regardless, maybe it was the bigger point though is that there's an identification of a real problem that we see in console. And if these guys are going to go up against the Steam box, which I could be wrong. I'm sure a lot of you will tell me I am, and that's fine. But I think the Steam box is going to be a meaningful contender when it comes on the scene. Their ecosystem, as I've talked about before, is second to none when it comes to discovery and the social features. The fact that she recognizes that, I think, is wonderful. What does that mean? That's what that means. If you go to the algorithms on Steam and they know how to, every day you can go in and get 2 to 3 cues that they base what they want to say, hey, you might like this based on a number of factors, right? Or they have a lot of social experiences over on, you could, if you're a hardcore gamer, you can spend all day long on Steam only. They have a news section. They have forums over there. They have your own like curated list for just your friends or as many people as you want to share, my favorite horror games of 2025 or whatever. It's quite robust and it adds a lot to the joy of being in that ecosystem. The fact that she's mentioning that, I give her a win. I think that's pretty good. I think that's good. That's where she wants to put some of her focus. The other thing, of course, that everyone's talking about is Xbox slashing Game Pass Ultimate and prices today, and also Xbox PC Ultimate. That goes from $16 to $14, and the main one on console goes Game Pass Ultimate in general goes, I really should probably just get PC Game Pass. I don't even use my goddamn console anymore. But the console one goes from $29 to $22 per month, or $30 to $23 per month. So it's a nice little savings. They did say that they are going to remove the Call of Duty and move that a year away. So if you want to play the new Call of Duty, which I think is Modern Warfare 4 coming out this Christmas, you'll either have to buy it or wait a year. They're not going to be removing all the other Call of Duty stuff that's already on there. So I don't know if Game Pass is long for this world, but it doesn't seem like she's coming in and saying that was a dumb idea, let's get rid of it. So I think that's cool, especially because we got Forza coming and we have Kiln coming this week. They just put out Vampire. What is that fucking game? Vampire something that just came out today on Game Pass, which is like the Vampire Survivals card battler, which I liked. I played the demo and I played the final game today. Let's see, Game Pass. What's it called? Vampire Survivors. I'll show you the trailer. No, not Vampire Survivors. Vampire Crawlers is what it's called. It's good. It's. I don't think it's the best. Like if you're debating playing that or Slay the Spire and you can only buy one, I would go with Slay the Spire 2 early access over Vampire Crawlers, but Vampire Crawlers is still fun. And I think when it comes to the phone, which it will later in the year, I think it's going to be great. Okay. People really give them credit, says Vin, for decreasing their price after the insane price hike a year ago. I don't think they're giving them, I think that's important to be clear on what people are, or at least what I'm happy about. I'm not like, oh my God, it's so cheap now. It's still expensive, but it's the fact that they clearly are settling. This new woman, this new CEO is settling behind the steering wheel and going, all right, let me fucking try this. And she's making some waves. That's good. That's good. And they seem to be going in, at least by what she's saying. And the first thing that she's done, she seems to be saying she's making some good decisions. That's all. Rocker Matt says, I started playing Winrose, but the lack of controller support hurts it. There's no lack of controller support. I actually have my controller and I play it. I play most of it with keyboard, but when I get to a really hard enemy, I will pick up my controller and do the fight with the controller. And then I'll go right back to keyboard. So I'm not sure. It may not be as robust as you like, but I haven't had any problem with it. Yeah, Gun says when they drop the price, this is like when they raise the price on gas, then drop it, but it's still more expensive than before. Yeah, prices are going to go up. And things, inflation and just general greed. And I mean, I'm not, she's not your best friend. She's still running a company. But I like the prices down. I don't mind that Call of Duty is no longer in there, because somebody was asking what's coming to merit purchasing. And by the way, Rezo says huge PC Game Pass price value down if they remove Call of Duty. I don't know if that's absolutely true or not, because ultimately I assume they are looking at the numbers and they're saying, we thought we were going to get X new subscribers and Y retention of said subscribers because of Call of Duty. We have not found that. Now they have the data. And so it makes better sense for us to make money by putting putting Call of Duty on its own thing and letting people know, if you don't want to buy it, it'll be here in a year. I'd do it less than a year though. I really would. I'd love it to be like 9 months, so you could at least still play with the hardcore fans and stuff who bought it and will be rolling off it probably for the game coming the next year. Although they did say, now this maybe ties in, they did say, right, that they're not going to be doing yearly Call of Duties anymore. I think they said that, right? That was the plan. So maybe that's going to work out great. So when you come in on Game Pass, there's still going to be all those players from Modern Warfare 4 that paid for it. And yeah, they'll be better than you, but you're still going to have a lot more people to play against, which is great. But what I will say though, let's just look up really quickly. Game Pass releases 2026. We know we've got, they've got a showcase coming up. Right. They have, hang on. They have a showcase coming up where they're going to do a 30-minute deep dive for the new Gears of War. E-Day, their Forza is coming out. Fable is coming out. I agree with you that Kiln is, that's going to live or die just like Gang Beast does or Power Stone does. It may be the next big thing, or it may fizzle out as fast as Double Fine's last game, which I loved, which was Keeper. But, they're still putting that stuff out. And then let's see. I just want to see what they're coming out with this year in general from first party. So Fable may or may not slip. We know we've got a new Halo coming, or a remake of Halo. They just put out Rematch. I'm trying to get to just the first party stuff. Let me just type in first party. Hang on. Xbox. And my computer is getting weird. First party 2026 Game Pass. Okay. I got to figure out why my computer is so chunky lately. I must have fucked it somehow. All right, let's see. There's usually just a list. I don't care about. I just want to see Xbox. Here we go. Xbox first party games 2026, and we are getting Forza, Halo, Fable, E-Day, Kiln. There'll be some other stuff that they show next week as well. So Jaffe, in a couple of years, says Zeke, who do you think will come out ahead on the Call of Duty acquisition, Xbox or Activision? Well, Xbox and Activision are the same thing now. So, I don't know. But here's what I'll say. I'm excited for it. I don't plan on canceling my Game Pass subscription because I want to play. If my computer is on low power, it will run slower. I think it probably is, because I was making some changes and I thought I fixed them, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, bear with me if you don't mind. I appreciate it. But anyway, so we'll know more in June when they do their showcase, right? Fable looks like it would come out at the same time as GTA. They will probably push it and add more features. So yeah, I gotcha. Okay. So let's move on, shall we? Ease on down the road with good Sir Michael Jackson. Shuei Yoshida. I like Shu. Really was instrumental to my career. Very great executive. Very, very good guy. And, he says he came out and said in a podcast that he actually was pushed out because Jim Ryan, who was the CEO at the time, asked him to do something. And he thought it was ridiculous and said no, he wouldn't do it, and they let him go. Which is just, when you really think about this for a moment. And then also similarly with Alan Becker. I mean, I talked about this on, I think, Locale Crypt or somewhere this week on a stream. When you think about it, it's just the height of idiocy on the part of Sony. you have Shuhei, you have Alan, you have Connie. These are people, these are executives that made the PlayStation brand that you love. And you've got these cocksucker political Machiavellian fucksticks like Jim Ryan, who just wanted to be at the head of the table, and Herman Holst, who I don't have any personal beef with. I have one story about him, which makes me not like him. But other than that, I've never met the guy. And he does have a lot more experience running product development than Jim Ryan. But even him, I think he's been, both of those guys, Sean Layden should still be there. You lost Sean, you lost Connie, you lost Shu, you lost Alan, and why? You lost them because they didn't play the political game as good as the Jimmy Ryans of the world. Well, fuck you, Sony. And fuck you, Sony fans that want to act like everything's the same as it ever was. And this is the Sony you grew up with. And this is the Sony you have nostalgia love for. They have gutted the very heart and soul of the executive branch that made PlayStation what it is. Okay. And I'm not saying Sony's bad. I'm looking forward to Saurus. I am excited. I love Ghost of Yote. I'm a big Scott Rhodey fan who's still at Sony in San Diego. But do not try to fucking tell me that they did not lose meaningful shit. When you've got somebody as classy and reserved as Shu motherfucking Yoshida coming out and publicly saying that Jimmy Ryan wanted him to do something that was ridiculous to him, and he said no. And that was enough for this man who had been there since 2001 to lose his motherfucking job after all he had done for that company. You got to be out of your goddamn mind. You got to be out of your goddamn mind. I'm not doing a bit. It breaks my heart a little bit because I know Shu would still be there, Becker would still be there, Connie would still be there, and Layden would still be there. These are not 70-year-old old fogies that needed to be put out to pasture. These are people that got outplayed by a motherfucking Englishman in New York, piece of shit, Jimmy Ryan, that wouldn't know a goddamn DualSense from a fucking dildo. And because the powers that be at Sony weren't smart enough and respectful enough of their brand and their legacy, we get this shit. So fuck you. Good day. I said good day. Wink. Anyway, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay. But anyway, I am excited to hear if Shu ever comes out and says what it was that Jimmy Ryan asked him to do. But I have no idea what that was that he was referring to. Okay. Jaffe says, Dewdrop, what made you retire? You seem passionate still. Well, look, let me explain something to you. Let me find the story. It'll give you a perfect answer if I can find it really quickly. Here you go. New survey shows how a near majority of game developers are looking to leave the industry due to mass layoffs and instability. This is why. Because there's two reasons. One is that I would not go into this fucking industry at this level now if you fucking paid me. I don't know if you got, well, you'd have to pay me. Can you imagine? Hey, come run Sony, Jaffe. It's free. But think about this. Today, wonderful Troy Baker, who is delightful in almost everything he does, certainly in the new Mouse PI where he plays Jack Pepper. Great. Pepper. Awesome. Says he's going to start his own video game studio. And I'm sitting there going, dude, do not. Do fucking not. Right? Because why in the fiddly fuck would you want to run a goddamn video game studio in this day and age? You ain't going to find the money. You're just not, you're just not. You're not going to go out. I don't know what his goal is. I haven't spent too much time looking into it, but you're certainly not going to go out and get the money for a AA or AAA game. Maybe you could, kickstart something to get enough for like a 4-man team to work for a year or something. That would be great. Maybe that's his plan. I don't know. But to answer your question, Dewdrop Stephanie, because the industry is unstable as fuck. The best work is happening at the indie level right now, the most interesting work for the most part. The amount of money that these games cost is astronomical. You're into the $400-500 million route, which means you've got 1,000 people you have to serve just to keep your job. Fuck you, I'm not doing it. The other part is the last game I made had my heart and soul all over it. The critics hated it. It was a financial bomb, and that doesn't mean you can't get back up on the horse. But I was kind of, we're going to talk Last Flag in a second. I got that too. But I could get back up on the horse if I wanted to, but I like this more. And that's, I have no interest in going back, at least not in the way I was before. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, we'll jump to Last Flag. So I want to talk one more thing that you're going to think is about movies, but it's really not. It's about video games, but there is a movie short called Mora, and it's getting a feature film expansion from Neon. I watched this movie today. It's very good. It's like 8 minutes long, 12 minutes long. They made the short film very well done, very spoopy, and suddenly mainstream motion picture people say, wow, this has like 5 million views already on YouTube. It's really good. Let's hire this guy to write a feature film based on his short film. And they're off to the fucking races. This is the way games should be moving forward. The idea that you have got something like Last Flag, which are made by the lead singer and I think his brother from Imagine Dragons. I think this currently has like 600 people playing this fucking game. How many people? When they wrote this article a few days ago, they had yet to reach 600 concurrent players. Let's see where it is now. And I played the beta, Last Flag Steam database. And it's not on any console, so you're only getting your Steam 250 people in the game. It's not a bad game. It's a decent, well-made game. It's got some interesting ideas, this, that, and the other. But this idea, it is polished. It is beautifully polished. It is well-made. They clearly spent some fucking money on it, and no one's playing it. You could have known well before you spent their money. They need to be doing what the short filmmakers are doing. They need to basically be saying, look, we're going to make really rough versions of these games. We're going to put them out in super duper fucking early access, and we're going to see if enough people show up. And then if they do, we'll start spending some real fucking money on it. But this backwards as fuck idea of a green light, and then you spend all this money only to release it and go, hey, nobody wants it. But look at I'm terrible with the name. What's the pirate game that I'm obsessed with? It's my game of the year. Windrose maybe is what it's called. I don't know what it's called. Dawn River. What the fuck is that game called? The pirate Windrose. I don't fucking know. Terrible name. This is made by, I think, 15 people. Is it the best looking game ever? No, but it has 124,000 people playing it right now. Yesterday it had 175,000 people. You understand? You understand why these fucking companies, and again, maybe because they don't fucking play. Maybe because Jim Ryan didn't play games. Maybe because Herman Holst is too busy going around. I don't know what he does, but I don't think he's going home at night playing games. Rhodey played games. Shu played games. What? You don't need all the bells and whistles, you whores, just to get a great game. Anyway, so to answer, going back to Dewdrop Stephanie, I'm passionate about it because it's so clear what they're doing wrong. I want to tell you something else, though. Here's what people are doing right. Ashoka Tana drops a super chat and says, Jaffe, listen, I miss the Sony era of the goddamn PS1, PS2. Sony hasn't been the same since the PS2. Well, you're right. And I was there for that era all the way up to PS4. And you are going to get changes. You are going to see, as money gets more into the equation of production, you're going to have a little bit of the rough edges sanded off here, there, and the other. But if you miss the Sony era, get yourself a Steam box. Get yourself a Steam Deck. Play on PC. Everything that all of you people are asking for, that I see people asking for, not you, Ashoka, I don't know how you play, but you sad son of a bitches who are complaining about the state of games, and you're trapped in the console universe. You just don't know. Everything that you're asking for is out there. The weird stuff, the fresh stuff, the interesting stuff, all of that exists. It exists. It's it's being made. You just don't know. And listen to this. Ashoka Tana drops another big super chat. Why can't you guys be more like your sister? Ashoka Tana, support the show. We appreciate it. I'm playing Beyond Good and Evil HD Remaster on Switch, they say, and I noticed how much fun I'm having with it compared to the newer games. The PS1, PS2 era was something special. Again, I hear you. I know exactly what you're talking about, but what I'm saying to you is that hasn't gone anywhere. It exists. It's out there. It's available. You just got to go looking in different places because it ain't happening in Sony anymore. Okay. But I hear you and I appreciate the support. Now, let's move on and ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. Look, here's another reason. I don't want to make Dewdrop Stephanie feel uncomfortable that I keep bringing up her shit, but it's a good question. Jaffe, why, if you're so passionate, why aren't you making games? Here's another reason. Because I don't know what the fuck is going on with these people, with these so-called gamers. I am playing Pragmata. I am enjoying the shit out of Pragmata. It is very good. It is very fun. I don't know if it's like, game of the year for me, but it's certainly really goddamn good and really clever, and the performances are great, and I'm really enjoying it. Okay. And so, imagine my surprise, color me shocked, fellas and fillettes, when I see all of this. What? I don't make games today because I don't know what the fuck these people are talking about half the time anymore. But these people, let me show you this clip. We talked about this earlier on Locale Crypt, but it bears repeating. Let me see if I can find that video of this woman. But she was playing the game, and she was just saying she was so emotional by it. And then how this became political, I do not know. How in the fuck this came? You've got half the audience on the internet bitching about this being a pedophile game. Yeah, it's a pedophile game if you're a pedophile. In the same way, Different Strokes, the show with Gary Coleman, is pedophilia porn if you're a fucking pedophile. For most people, it's just a story about a dad and a robot who, makes him kind of embrace his paternal side. And it's charming and wonderful and whatnot. The other side, you've got people going, it's propaganda in order to make a bunch of people have kids because the left woke brigade, of which I am a proud member, has been telling you not to have kids. What are you talking about? Why are you so broken? Why are you so broken? Awesome says, I hate these fake ass no playing the game gamers. Right. Listen to this. I tweeted out the whole Pragmata, hey, having kids is cool thing is super weird. Have these people never heard of kids before? The idea that, I'm playing this game and there's like a little girl and this guy who could be her father, even though she's a robot. And it's like, maybe I should have kids. Maybe I should fucking have kids. I never would have thought about it. Really? Weren't you a kid? Didn't you have brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews? Haven't you watched movies with kids in them before? Is it a shock to you that some people genuinely enjoy being a parent? I know I do. Suddenly, this is some kind of political football. Listen to this guy wrote me. He says, yeah, a lot of the people you defend and side with basically hate kids in the nuclear family. Weird, right? What? What are you talking about? What the I couldn't be more progressive. And I love, I don't care if it's a nuclear family, but kids raised with love. And then this moron comes back. He says, love is overrated. What matters most is respect, discipline, and responsibility. The nuclear family is everything. Dude, stop watching all of these fucking red pill fucking morons. All they're doing is grifting. All they're doing is trying to make you make their money off you because you finally feel like somebody gets you. But they don't get you. They don't care about you. What matters most is respect. Respect from who? You stupid son of a... Respect from who? Respect is irrelevant. Respect is a societal construct. What matters is, are you doing in the world something that you're proud of and excited about, and you're having a good goddamn time? And that is built on the foundation of being raised to feel good about yourself and feel loved and feel taken care of. What the heck is the nuclear family, says Resman. I guess it's the mom and the dad and the kids. Not two gay dads, not two gay moms, not a single parent loving and raising. My children have more goddamn love than 90% of you watching this show and making comments. And guess what? They didn't come from a nuclear family. I came from a nuclear family where my parents were loving, but they argued all the time. And it was traumatic based on how much they argued. My kids, my ex-wife lives a block away. I see her almost every night. We go for walks with our kids. We celebrate holidays together. We go on vacation together. We are still a family. Is that a weird family? Yeah, but guess what? My kids have turned out pretty fucking good. So fuck you. Now let me tell you something. I'm going to bring in Embers Arcade. Now, Anna G, are you watching? I'm going to depend on you guys because I like talking to Embers Arcade. But a lot of people get really frustrated when I talk to Embers Arcade because the conversation goes on and on and on and on. And I can't trust myself to recognize when we've reached the threshold of the audience being bored of the conversation. So I'm going to bring the young man on. I'm going to have him say what he wants to say. But I need the audience, don't troll me. I know which one of you guys are trolls. The ones that are actually looking out for the health of this show here, the Gabbin and the Games show, the Jaffe channel, those looking out for me. I know who you are, and I want you to tell me when the conversation has reached the point of diminishing returns. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here he comes, boys. You know him, you love him, but not as much as he loves the baby Jesus. It's Embers Arcade. What's up, Embers? How you doing, buddy?
That was the most insane preamble I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, let me explain something to you, pal. My Ritalin's kicking in.
I'm also hearing myself in an echo. I don't know if that's
my
problem.
I'm gonna fix it. No. I'm gonna fix it for you, baby. There you go. There you go.
Listen, man, I don't even know where to start with all that. I mean, you really
start with wherever you want to start.
Audience like that for me?
Do I say what now?
You have to prep your audience like that just for me?
Well, only because I can talk to you for 3 hours and I find this really, really interesting. But the audience will tell me after you've been on a show, dude, that went on for way too long, right? So I need a little help in determining. So what do you want to talk about, Embers? How are you? How's life, pal?
Well, I think, my life's going well. Everything's good.
Okay.
I honestly, I almost feel like I should just leave. It's like a crazy thing.
I can't help you with that. Look, do you deny what I'm saying? Which is when you call in, we'll talk for a long, long time. We'll both think it was a great discussion. And then we'll get the stats and go, wow, some people really liked it, but a lot of people, washed out. It was too much for them.
I don't have your stats. I don't know, but
I'll share my stats with you after the show. But in the meantime,
no, you won't. Don't lie to me. You're not going to
ask me. I'm happy to share them. Happy to share them with you.
First, I wanted to begin with. You began your show today with something that I've heard you say for a few years now, I think, and I listen less and less as time goes on. But you don't really want to talk about games. There's really not a lot to talk about games. You've been saying this for a really long time, and I'm wondering, have you reached an epiphany about whether or not you even want to be doing this? I mean, you talked about how you'd rather do this than develop video games, but you don't even seem really interested in talking about games. It seems more like you want to lecture people on the internet without being challenged by anybody about what you're saying.
Everything you've said is correct except the last thing. I don't mind being challenged by what I'm saying if it's interesting. But what I would say is, and you'll see if you watch the show, but for me, I absolutely I will stop doing a stream or the stream will end for the day. And there are many days where I go, that was awesome. But it's the days where I find myself feeling like I have a responsibility to the audience to talk about video games because that's why they showed up here, where I say, I can't do it. That's what I'm talking about. No, I've got topics lined up.
Of this business, isn't that the nature of it? Is like if you have something consistent that you're offering, a value proposition to your audience, then what you're doing is you're agreeing to to offer that as long as they're willing to support you. And if they're willing to support you to do it, then so be it, right? And you show up and you do the work. I mean, I'm sure that not every day that you developed Twisted Metal was a fun day. I'm sure some weeks were just weeks where you got the paycheck. And, you know, I've had jobs that I really love. But sorry, go ahead.
I got it. But what I'm saying to you is I have options now where I can be more of a personality streamer, I guess is the better way to put at it. So for me, whether you're talking over on LOLCal, there's a new show I'm talking about doing on LOLCal that I think could be really, really fun. There's this show where I am able to mix and match different topics. That is a great deal of fun for me. But the idea of just game news back to back to back, oh my God, no, I have no interest in that. And if that's all it was every day, I would stop doing it. I can't, I won't. Yeah.
I'm going to say something that's going to make your audience probably angry.
Okay.
Look, man.
Thank you, Darth Nugget, by the way. 58 months, Cult Calypso. Thank you, sir.
I know that there are people in the stream that you were calling out who care about the health of your stream. I think weirdly enough, I think I'm probably the one who cares the most about it.
Okay.
I don't know, like you started and stopped a lot of shows in your time.
Let's stop talking about the show. Let's talk about what you want. What's the topic? Because
that was one of the things that I wanted.
That's what you want to talk about.
No,
you want to talk about
the
nuclear family, the nuclear family, and this Pragmata thing. What's going on with this Pragmata thing?
I'm happy to talk about that as well.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I think that it's a little disingenuous to say that. Have you not noticed the rampant like antinatalism that has been present in Western culture for the better part of like, I don't know, 60 years since the sexual revolution? There's two different things, right? There is the conversation about, is the modern world one that we are inspired to bring kids into? Is it a selfish choice to bring kids into this environment, given what is happening all over the world? That is an absolute valid piece of conversation to have with people. I think that's important. That's different though than going, oh my God, I never thought about being a dad could be fun. It's like, it's a tragedy in a lot of ways that we have allowed society to become such that a lot of people go, I don't want to bring kids into this world. But that's a different argument or a different epiphany than going, holy shit, it never occurred to me that raising kids could be fun. Those are two different things. You don't think that like a theme in a piece of media or some kind of entertainment could affect somebody enough that they could consider that as something that they would want to do with their life? And pragmatic could be the thing?
Well, everything you said is correct, except pragmatic could be the thing. Because pragmatic is so on the nose about it that it makes you go, well, duh, right? It's not like it really got to the heart and soul of the issue of, holy cow, the world is fucked up, but having kids is such a joy. It's worth the risk, blah, 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 blah. There is a nuanced, interesting, marbled argument about what you're saying that is absolutely the realm of media and art that could inspire people to have that epiphany. The epiphany coming from, hey, I am having fun with this little kid who's fun and funny, and she's like a cute little kid, like a Punky Brewster back in the 80s on TV. I think it speaks worse about the people having the epiphany, is what I think.
I mean, and I think that's fine. I think you're allowed to think that, but I do think that there's a sort of inherent bitterness in you looking at somebody else's revelation, despite its source, whatever its source, and just deciding that it's insufficient because it doesn't meet your standard. If somebody's playing Pragmata,
I wouldn't say bitter, but I would say judgmental. Absolutely.
Yeah, if somebody's playing Pragmata and they see Diana like jumping up and down and drawing pictures for them, and they think to themselves, "Oh my God, I didn't realize how much I wanted that in my life." Maybe
how did you not realize that? It took that? That's weird.
Well, because Jaffe, everyone thinks like what you were just saying 2.5 minutes ago, which is that the world is a fucked up place and they shouldn't bring kids into this world. That's like the standard for at least a Western modern person. But those are different
things. You should think that because it's true, whether it makes you not have kids or not.
I don't think that's true.
Well, again, you should think that whether or not it's true is irrelevant, but you should question before you have a child, is this a good time for me personally and societally? But you can have that feeling, and if the answer you come to is I don't want to have kids because of that, then the natural feeling of most people is that makes me really sad, because I do think having kids sounds like, at least for a lot of people, not everyone, a great deal of fun. The fact that it took a video game for you to realize kids can be fun, kids can be joyful, I think that's weird. I do.
I think it's weird that you think it's weird. I think it's fine. It's like watching a movie or while reading a book and realizing something about yourself that you didn't know before.
How do you not know that kids can be fun?
Well, I don't know, Jaffe. When you look around, the entire world, everything around you, media and all the entertainment that we consume is constantly telling you about how terrible it is to have children, how much more fun. Yes, absolutely.
Where is that? What movies are telling? Give me one. Name some movies that were hit movies in the last 5 years that tell you having kids is bad.
Name me one that tells you having kids is fun.
That's not what I didn't make the accusation. You did.
You said that it's weird that somebody couldn't figure that out on their own. So name me a movie.
What I'm saying is that
you don't like it when people do that to you.
Well, no, that's not true. What I'm saying is you're the one that made an accusation. I asked you to prove it, and instead of proving it, you threw it back in my face and said, "Well, you
made an accusation too." So
I don't, but I'll give you one. But I don't need one. But I'm happy to talk about one.
Go for it.
I'll give it to you in a second. But so you're the way you're arguing is disingenuous. Okay.
No, the way I'm arguing is like the way you argue, Jeff.
No, okay, fine. It's not, but fine. But the point though is that media suggesting that having children or showing being a parent in a good light, sure, I'll give you almost every show on that kids grow up with on the Disney Channel. Hey Jesse, when my kids were young. Phineas and Ferb when my kids were young. I'm trying to think what else that I have watched. The Marky Mark movies on Apple, Family Vacation, where it's all about the value and quality of the family, even though he's also in this great action movie, and he takes his family on vacation and they learn that he's become a spy. But it's still about the love he has for his daughter, his son, and his wife, and his new baby in the sequel. What else? What were the top 5 movies of last year? Marvel, if you look at Endgame, where Hawkeye basically had his whole life ruined and became Ronin because he lost his family. And how ultimately at the end he got to be with them again, and that was his motivation to continue. I could go on. Give me one now. Yeah, Jurassic Park is the joy of Dr. Grant learning that he wants to become a parent, when at the beginning of the movie he had no interest in it. And then he realized, holy shit, being a dad is fun. Now you give me one movie, just one, where that was a hit, not like some weird indie thing that no one saw, that says having kids is bad, don't do it.
Jaffe, I didn't watch movies last year. I don't watch movies.
Okay, 5 years ago.
I don't know what was out 5 years ago. I don't watch movies. Jaffe.
I'm going to hang up on you, Embers. I love you, but I'm going to hang up on you. You literally made an accusation. I asked you to prove it. You said Jaffe. You said Jaffe. You said Jaffe. No, prove the opposite. Jaffe. I just proved the opposite. Now I'm asking you to prove your original accusation. Go,
Jaffe. You haven't proved anything. You're listing movies.
Embers is off. I love Embers. I'm not mad at Embers. I like the guy. I like when he calls in, but that was even a bridge too far for me. I'm not anti-Ember. Darth Nugget says, why is chat so anti-Ember? You can disagree with someone and still listen. Right. I got nothing against Ember's Arcade. I like the guy. I like his channel. He's a really good editor. But literally, he asked me, he says, media is filled with telling people for the last 60 years not to have kids. I said, that's not true. Give me examples. He says, I'm not going to give you examples. I don't watch movies. He says, you give me examples of the opposite. I'm like, well, I didn't make the accusation, but fine. Then I spent 5 minutes giving multiple examples. And then I'm like, okay, your turn. Give me an example of one movie. Well, I didn't watch movies last year. Okay, how about the year before? 5 years. I don't really watch a lot of movies. Then what are you talking about? I'm sorry, but that's a point where if you're listening to the show, you must be going, what the fuck? What the fuck? No. Yeah, Matt says, quote, the media doesn't want you to have children, end quote. Then he says, oh, I don't watch media. Well, okay. Hell, the Bible, of which he's so fond, is God's telling you to kill your fucking kids, at least in the case of some of them. Anyway, we'll move on. Yeah, Embers is a good dude and he means well. Absolutely. No hate towards Embers Arcade at all. I like the guy, but that's disingenuous debate, and I think we want better on this channel. So let's move on to a different topic, shall we? Unless somebody in the chat was saying not Elden Ring, Blade Runner 2049 is a movie about not having kids. I have to tell you, I haven't seen it, but you may be right. I did walk out of that movie, not because I thought it was bad at all, but I just wasn't in the headspace. I remember going to it with the Bartlett Jones crew, and I was watching it and I was going, this is really good. I'm just not in the mood for this kind of movie right now. And so I keep meaning to go back to it. The only film or media that gives that kind of message is Pet Cemetery. Really? I don't think they think having kids is bad. I think they think wanting kids so much that after your kid dies, you bury them in a magic cemetery and they come back as a zombie is not so much don't have kids. It's that you have to be able to sort of accept reality sometimes. But I haven't seen Blade Runner 2049 or 2048 or whatever. So, but yeah, I'm anti Ember, says Ashoka Tana. Thank you for the super chat, because the guy is disingenuous, like a lot of religious people are, not just Christians. I don't think he's disingenuous. I don't think he calls into troll. I think he is a smart guy who is a little confused by things because he thinks he's arrived at it. He used to be an atheist. He became very religious. And he arrived at what he considers an epiphany. And now, because he's had that epiphany, he thinks all of his arguments are bulletproof. And when you actually try to debate with him, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, it goes like it just did. Okay. Was it the second Mummy movie, says Dewdrop, that shows how hard it is and how much trouble kids can be? It may have been that there were, if I remember correctly, the little boy in the second Mummy caused a lot of problems. But that the message of the movie wasn't, we should have never had these fucking kids. I mean, that's what Embers was talking about. Like, where is this message that from the left, that all these people that are I'm not an immovable object, TJM. I'm literally asking for evidence. Where is evidence in media that that whether Embers was saying it was the left or not, although a lot of the arguments on Pragmata is this is against what the left is preaching, which is the left doesn't want you to have kids. And I'm like, where are you getting that from? But regardless of where it comes from, I'm not immovable. Give me an example of where that comes through. I haven't seen World's Greatest Dad. No, lolcow. Ember says, you didn't even let me explain anything, LMAO. Chat, do you think Embers had a chance to explain himself or not? One's if you feel that it was his failure. Two, if you feel it was my failure. It's all over the internet, not just in media. Okay, well, Wayne B, what you're saying then is it's on Twitter, right? Which is fair. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know about that. But where can I find it? Where can I find it? Is what I'd like to know. Let's bring in someone new, see what they have to say. Dewdrop Stephanie. How are you, pal? Where can I find it? You gotta turn your thing down because I can hear me. You gotta mute your computer or whatever.
Okay, there you go. No, I wasn't trying to say, kids are, I'm just trying to point out that, media has been both ways with movies as well, video games.
In what way? Give me an example of where
In
media
both
has said.
ways.
Okay, well, give me an
both.
example of the way where they say don't have kids. Having kids is bad.
Well, I that's a lot of religious movies, I think.
Well, wait a minute. You're saying religious movies are promoting the idea of not having children?
Well, some of them, yes, because I don't know. I've seen a few of them. I work as a home health aide, as you know, as
Yep.
CNA, and my client currently now is a very religious person.
Okay.
I grew up very religious also.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pagan now.
Okay.
And some of these movies are saying, only have kids if you're like spiritually ready to have these kids, kind of like a Mormon thing.
Well, okay, so wait a minute. Let's just take that. Is you know, saying to someone you should probably only have kids if you feel you're ready. Whether
Yeah.
that's you're ready financially, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, isn't it? Is that bad advice? That's not saying don't have kids, is it? I mean, I'm glad.
No, I think people should be ready to have kids. You know, you need to have some kind of stability. You need to know where you are, you know, spiritually. If you are spiritual,
Mhm.
you need to have stability in your life because like you were saying, you were in a certain kind of family aspect as well as I was. You know, my mother's bipolar with pill popping, and my dad did everything under the sun and an alcoholic. I wish they didn't have me. You know,
Right.
when not saying that not saying nothing, but you know, like you said, you need a good, stable, loving family to have kids. And media saying, showing, hey, have kids, just to have kids to all these people who are younger, you know, and they're having these epiphanies or whatever to have these kids just because they're cute. You know, you need to think about, you
Sure.
know, you
I
need to drop,
agree with that.
at a drop
Having a
of a hat, you
kid
need to be able to hit the ground running.
Having a kid is a massive decision and you need to be careful for sure.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I don't think media is saying media might be saying, oh, it might be nice to be ready, but media is not out there banging this drum saying having kids is bad. Don't do
Right.
it unless you're
Right.
talking about, like somebody said, horror movies, right? So, okay, if you're talking about Hereditary, okay, I guess, sure, that family would have
Yeah,
been
that
better
was
off if
kind
they
of
hadn't had kids, but that wasn't the message of that movie.
right.
Um,
I think a lot of the movies are more leaning towards kids are, you know, difficult. They are. And there's
of
going to
course
be
they
days
are.
where you go to bed crying, you
Yeah.
know. I helped raise
But
my
how is this a
niece
surprise,
and
man? Do
right.
people actually think having a kid is super fucking easy and it's a walk? Of course it's hard, but that doesn't
Yep.
mean you shouldn't do it. Raising my
Hmm.
kids has been hard.
Hmm.
So what?
Well, it's like when I was in high school. I graduated in 2010. Teen mom was a thing.
Yeah.
In some places, it made birth rates go up. The South, and in some places like where I am in Michigan, Ohio, Midwest, you know, it made birth rates go dramatically down.
Yeah.
You know, I had so many classmates that were pregnant that they had no idea of how difficult raising children are,
Well, why didn't
you
their
know?
parents tell them? I mean, how do they not know? I mean, you're going to have to
Oh,
take care of these
yeah.
kids and diaper them and feed them and send them to school and love them and give up your own shit you want to do because of them. I mean, how
I
is that
live
a
in
surprise?
I live in a one road town, Jaffe, near Ann Arbor. Oh man, the hillbillies, the rednecks are just
They're they're
there's
they're
something.
coming out the woodwork, huh?
Oh my
But that doesn't mean they're
god.
stupid. I mean,
No,
I mean,
no, it's just I think it's more uneducated
yeah,
and not getting out. You
yeah,
know, I
I
lived in
got you.
Kansas, I lived in Tennessee, I've lived in a bunch of different
Right.
places, and I was able to see different things in these smaller places and people that stay in one town their whole dang life, you know,
I got you. I got
they're
you. I
not
hear you.
yeah, they're not
Um,
I don't want to say uneducated, but I want to
well, no,
say
uneducated is not an insult. It's just a fact. It doesn't mean they're
mhm,
stupid. It doesn't mean they're not capable of being brilliant, but uneducated just means you don't have the data, you know? All right. Well,
mhm.
always good to talk to you, Stephanie. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank
Be well. Bye,
you.
buddy. Listen to this, though. Not Ember's ESP review says the decades of feminist propaganda has been telling women to abort and be a career woman. All the protests across the country praising abortion. That is such a, that is taking a thing that has occurred and has on the whole been very positive for our culture, which is equality for women, and absolutely bastardizing the effect of it. Never once when you listen to Gloria Steinem is she saying don't have children. Never once when you look at an abortion rally are they saying we want people to have abortion because kids are bad and no one should have kids. It's about choice. You're pushing back on the fact that decades of feminist propaganda has basically made it clear to women that, hey, if you want to work instead of be a parent, you should do that. If you get pregnant, even though it's not the right choice for everyone, but you want to have an abortion, you should have the right to make that choice because it's your body. If what you took from that was the left thinks kids are bad and we want them all to die, you're absolutely getting the wrong message is what I would say. But there you go, ESP. But thank you for the comment, as strange as it is to me. Let's bring on Matthew. Matthew, it's Jaffe. What's going on?
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Oh man, just been listening to the last few people on, and I gotta say, man, there's no. I don't want to offend anybody here, but some people just don't know how to articulate and argue a point that has been made.
Yes, I agree.
I actually agree with what ESP just super chatted in for the most part. I don't agree with.
Talk to me about that. How do you agree with it? You think the feminist propaganda was designed not to give women the choice, but to make women and families in general like not want to have families?
No. See, that's the part that I don't agree with. I don't agree with that. We're being told that having families is not a good thing when it's actually the opposite, quite frankly, in movies and television and video games and everything. Look at The Last of Us, Grown Ups, just pretty much TV shows, everything shows you on TV that obviously having kids is going to be tough. I mean, you wanted to bring a kid into this world and it's your responsibility now. So, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but it is rewarding in the end, building a family, etc., having the connection and whatnot.
It absolutely can be. There was a scientific study that came out recently that said people who have kids are no more or less happy than people who don't. There are moments in their lives where the happiness spikes, like when the kid achieves something, but on the whole, parents are not in the end happier or not. It's just kind of what works for you. But continue, please.
Yeah. Also, kind of like when you get into a relationship and you got that puppy love stage, and then eventually you guys get used to each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, the spark isn't there, but if you guys actually love each other and stay together. But about the feminist stuff, originally, sure, feminism was about just having more respect for women, etc. But what it's turned into in our modern day, 21st century, is telling women that they can prioritize a career and a job and etc. like that, wait till they're older in their 30s, 40s, and that the man that they want is still going to want them, which is the opposite of the truth.
Wait a minute now. What are you talking about? So you're saying that if a woman is in her 30s and becomes a career woman, that she's
her options definitely dwindle to where she
sure. I mean, I think that, but so what? I mean,
but that's the thing, like the huge difference between men and women, right? I mean, men and women, sorry. A man could be a multi-millionaire, own companies, own businesses, have all these fancy cars, fancy house, everything, but he could walk into a McDonald's, see a pretty girl at the cash register and still ask her on a date. Because men, we don't care about a woman's status in that way, right? Whereas a woman, women, well, I'll say not all, but generally in general, the majority of women want to date at equal or above of their current status. So let's say a woman has a high paying job. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't have any problem with a woman going out and work. You want to go and work and be as miserable as the rest of us, go ahead, have at it, right? You have that right now. But say a woman is a doctor making a lot of money. She's probably pulling in like, I don't know, almost $500,000 a year. She's not going to look the second way to a guy who's, I don't know, say the nurse or say the dude that maybe he works the mechanic shop down the street. So I mean,
she might, But you're right. If she's looking for like a long-term thing and not just a fling, but that's really no different than you walking into it. Let me ask you this. If you're a man and you own companies and you're a multi-billionaire and you walk into a McDonald's and there's a woman behind the cash register that you find really unappealing and unattractive, are you going to ask her out?
If she's unattractive? No, of course not.
Right. So why is it okay for men to have what we consider relatively shallow standards about who they'll date, but a woman does the same thing? It's a different standard, but a woman is going, look, hang on. A man is going, for me, there is value in my life if I'm dating a woman that not only am I attracted to, but also looks good. I look better because I'm with her. My life is better because I'm with a sexy woman. Why is that acceptable? But a woman going, I'm going to date a man because my life is better if he has money, that's suddenly distasteful. Everybody, it goes both ways. It's different, but it's still a shallow criteria that can come into play. And it's not fair, in my opinion, for you to say men get to exercise that shallow experience, but women don't.
Actually, I would argue the opposite, that in like as how society looks at it, we don't shame women for having standards, because really there's nothing wrong with it. History
wait, you don't shame women for having what sort of standards?
I want that they want to do it to be strong, be taller than them, have money, have status, have social proof.
Okay. So then, you kind of did just shame them. You said if a woman who's a doctor and the guy's just a mechanic, she's not interested. Aren't you basically saying that guy's not worthy to have that woman? Isn't that kind of shaming him?
In her mind, yes. So I'm just stating an observation, right? And I'm saying that if a woman, say, goes on TikTok, right, makes a video, I don't want no scrub, you can't get no love from me, type of stuff like that. I want to do who's 6 foot, makes a lot of money, he's strong, he's muscular, he can pick me up with one arm. Everyone, like, say the female is watching that TikTok, oh, you go girl, you go queen, yes, blah 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 blah. But if a guy goes on the same exact place, say TikTok, whatever, YouTube, whatever, and the dude makes a video that says, hey, I don't want a girl who's fat, or I don't want a girl who smokes cigarettes, or I don't want a girl who prioritizes her career over our children because I want to be the one making the money. He's going to be shamed and slandered and dragged through the mud.
Why be a fuck? My response to that is, in those cases, and I know there are some places where that will happen to you on the internet, be a fucking man. Who gives a shit?
Oh, of course. Right? I mean, why can't you? Why not have preferences? Look, there are types of women I would want to date and get with, and types of women I wouldn't, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it, right? No, exactly. All I'm saying is that in today's climate, men are attemptively shamed for having standards. Like, oh, you don't like fat women? What's wrong with you? You're a judgmental person. Or you don't want to date someone outside of your race.
I don't want to date a fat woman. I'm not turned on by fat women. Sorry.
I think most men are not. Exactly. So we're on the same page.
So, but I don't have a problem if a woman were to say, Jaffe, you're too short. I don't want to be with a short guy. I go, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, of course, and we shouldn't, because that's how we have been biologically. Basically, what's the right word for this? Basically a product of our biology and our environment. Women were made and biologically, basically, I guess, say mentally evolved into being able to move on to a next mate, or to find the guy to be what's it called, hypergamous, where I need to find the strongest guy, I need to find the guy with the most money, because it's about protection, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the fact that it's perfectly in the media, in the climate, that it's perfectly okay for women to have standards and say they don't like a short guy, they don't like a fat guy, they don't want a guy who's building himself up, he doesn't have money yet. It's fine, perfectly fine. I'm perfectly okay with the fact that
I got it. What I'm saying to you is, you're also painting this picture of men, though, who aren't allowed to do that. And what I would say to that is, I think that is a narrative that a lot of guys have taken on and been pitched and sold to by the red pill grifters. I've never had a problem expressing my taste and likes, and I've never been fired from a job or ostracized from a community because I've been like, oh, that's not like Dewdrop Stephanie. She's like, oh, well, that sucks. I'm fat. Yeah. I'm a short, fat guy. If there's a woman out there, Sydney Sweeney, if she says, yeah, I'm not into you because the way you look, I'm like, all right. Well, the issue is, here's the issue.
She wouldn't
the
be
issue
ashamed for
is
that,
a
though.
lot of men are a bunch of fucking pussies because the idea that it's like, oh, you shamed me for saying I'm not into you. Well, get over it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that we
something
can
you
care.
love to do, go do it, get good at it, make some money, be happy, live your goddamn life. Men have become the weaker fucking sex, in my opinion. It's like, god damn.
I would agree with that, and I would say I would agree with that. I would agree with that, and I would say that is a huge byproduct of modern feminism, to where we have the internet, we have Instagram, we have all these different. No, I'm saying the feminism has become something that it wasn't when it started, right? Because with all these new social medias, with Instagram, with TikTok, with everything, a random girl in the Midwest somewhere, say in Kansas, who lives on a farm, could make an Instagram post and get hit up by famous dudes. Hey, you want to come party? You want to come to this yacht? You want to come do this?
Right.
Men will not. I'm not saying that men should have that option, because we're the ones that are supposed to, protect and control society. However, what I'm saying,
where are you getting that we're supposed to protect and control society? I will tell you something, man. I like you a lot, but I think you've got some really weird old programming rattling around in your head. The idea that men are supposed
this is actually
to
new
do
to me, because
this.
I used to be the opposite.
Yeah, but the idea that men are supposed to do anything, in a lot of ways, is kind of the most, to speak in what might very well be your language, some of the most beta shit I've ever heard. It's like, just do the shit you want to do. The women that dig it will show up. The women that don't won't. And stop fucking worrying about it so much. Stop talking about it so much. Stop being a victim so much, and just go do some shit you like. Life is short. That's what I
agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Have you heard of that saying that what was it? Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men. It's just a cycle that goes around and around.
And I don't care. What do I give a shit? I don't care. I want to do what I want with my limited time here. People spend way too much time at the 30,000 foot view analyzing and debating and discussing all. It's just shh. Like, don't worry about it.
I just continue on the topic because that's what.
I know, but I'm not telling you not to worry about it. I'm saying that as it relates to the topic, this is a smokescreen. It is a distraction. And if you want to do the most alpha thing you can do, man or woman, stop worrying about these fucking people and do the shit that makes you happy. That would be my advice. But anyway, I hear you. I appreciate the call. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
I like that guy. Good to talk to him. Where did it go? Hang on. I wanted to read this. Who's going to protect the home from invaders and go hunt for the food? Who gives a shit? The number of times your home is invaded, you'll be fine. Maybe it'll be the man one night. Maybe it'll be the woman. Stop living someone else's script. You realize that you're a slave to this narrative that you're being sold, like literally financial. Stop. It's like the guy that responded to my Pragmata thing. It's like, well, here's what matters. Respect matters. Being respected matters. No, it really doesn't. You've been told that. You've been lied to about that, because that's given you a script to live your life because you are terrified of the chaos that is the world. You don't need a script. You don't need someone to tell you what it means to be a man. You don't need to worry about a woman who doesn't want to fuck you because you're not her type or you don't have enough money. Go find somebody that does want to fuck you. Men make a lot of goddamn excuses. And as a man, I'm getting fucking tired of what pussies a lot of men are becoming. That's a wonderful argument, Embers. He says, I just said to the chat, I said, you're terrified of the chaos of the world. And that's why you're doing what you're doing. And Embers writes, I think you're terrified of the chaos of the world. Okay. I'll tell you what, that's a good comeback, baby. You know I love you. All right, let's move on. Let's all talk about something we can agree to with, for, whatever. Fuck you. This is exciting. Elden Ring is my favorite video game of all time. I just adore it. My favorite IP of all time is Bloodborne, but my favorite video game of all time is Elden Ring. And we are now, I don't usually get excited about movies in production, even big Marvel. Like the last time I was excited was when they finally showed Spider-Man, when it was Tom Holland, when he was coming over to the Marvel universe, because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. And, but that's it. It's been ages, right? Well, look at this. They started to leak out some images from the Elden Ring movie, which is directed by a crackerjack of a goddamn motion picture director, Alex Gardner. They said the budget is well over 100 million, which is not important in the grand scheme of things of what does it matter? Well, it matters because you know that they're dedicated to expressing this idea well. Check out some of these behind the scene images that are leaking. They've started shooting this week. They've announced the full cast. I mean, it's really cool, man. Like what is this, the name of the city in the game, the kind of the golden city that's the biggest section of the map, with the guards that are pretty tough. That looks pretty much like what they're shooting there, right here, or whatever that's called. It's weird seeing so many extras because so much of the world of Elden Ring is kind of vacant and empty, but I am excited. I'm excited for this. Look at the costumes. It looks like they're really, I like that we're doing a lot of practical shit. They're not shooting it in a goddamn fucking green screen studio all day. Stormvale, there you go. Home to Godric the Grafted. The Wizarding School and the lands between all the cages that we're hanging. And here's some of the cast. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm excited. I can't help you with that, Embers. Embers, I'm not going to bring you back on for this show. They didn't want to talk to you. They wanted me to say goodbye to you. You were not arguing in good faith. You simply weren't. Let's bring on Anthony, though, and see what he's got to say. Anthony, it's Jaffe. What's up? Whoop, hang on. Let me get this off so there's no echo. All right. I'll bring you back on, Embers, if the chat wants you back on. All right, Anthony, you're on. What's going on, bud? Anthony. Come on, baby. What are you doing? Bring on Rich. I don't think Rich is here. This is not Jacksepticeye. He's doing the Bloodborne movie. All right. Well, I guess we gave it a shot. It didn't work out, but it was nice to meet you. All right. Thanks, buddy. Okay. But I'll put a poll up. Look, man, if you guys want, I'll tell you what, $100 in super chats. I'll bring Embers back on. How about that? $100, not $100, just multiple. If we get to $100, I'll bring them back on. But when you super chat, let me know that's why you're super chatting, because you want Embers back on for a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to move on to another story. Maybe. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I got bored of that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Hang on. Yeah, I don't want to talk about any of these things anymore. We'll just shoot the shit. We'll just talk. I don't think that's Anthony. I don't think that's the official Anthony you guys know. Darling Nikki, I don't think that's the one. Oh, shut up, Embers. Shut the fuck up. All right, let me try Anthony one more time. Anthony, there he is. Good God almighty. Where you been, man? What's up? We can see you, but we cannot hear you, Anthony. No one can hear you. You could just continuing to talk is not helping. No one can hear you. Well, great. Okay, well, that's been fun. Can you talk? It says you're muted. Yeah, it literally says you're muted. Let me see if it's on my end, but it might be, but I don't think so. But it might be. Let's see. No, everyone else was working fine. I can't get it to work for you. All right, awesome, Tatum. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it's all on you, buddy. You'll have to figure it out, but call back. Good to see you. I hope you're well. See you, Anthony. All right. All right. Well, I think that's about it then. I think that's about it. Unless you guys have something specific you want to talk about. Let me tell you this. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock California time is Locale Crypt. A lot of good stories. Thank you, K-Nubs. Anthony, the goddamn content champ. You goddamn right. That's tomorrow. I'm hoping I can get this fucking capture card working so we can play the retro game treasure games tomorrow, but it'll definitely be this week for sure. If there's anything you guys want to talk about before I let you go, hit me up right now. I'll be on the mic as long as you guys want. If you have something you want to say, something you want to talk about, otherwise we can say our goodbyes, part as pals, and jump back into the mix tomorrow if you like. That would be cool. Jaffe, Boomerang Jack, your game. Oh, nice. I enjoyed that game. I think it was made by you and a buddy, right? Excellent. What is going on with the creepy internet and Pragmata? We talked about that. That's all we talked about for the last 45 minutes. I think there's a lot of guys on the internet that have been sold a bill of goods about what they feel like victims. And again, I'm not saying some guys in the younger generation haven't gotten some shit and this and that and the other, but fundamentally speaking, I really wish a lot of them would man the fuck up because they seem like a bunch of pussies. It's like BF. I mean, I thought these were the alphas of the world, the Andrew Tate followers, the Joe Rogan followers. It's like, stop whining all the time. Stop fucking whining about your lot in life and do something. Make something, produce something, create something, express something. My God, aren't you guys tired of all the whiny, bitchy men on the internet? Pragmata. It's the left people. It's a pedophile game. No, it's not. If you think Pragmata is a pedophile game, newsflash, you're a fucking pedophile. If you see that delightful, wonderful video game and you look at the NPC character of Diana and your mind goes to this game is for pedophiles, newsflash. You're a NAMBLA member. Your dues are probably due. Tired of them. And Embers, I'm not taking a shot at straw men. I'm tired of the way you argue is really not good because you literally made an accusation. I asked for proof. You couldn't provide any and then demanded I give you proof of the opposite. I gave you proof of the opposite. And then I asked you to give me proof of your original accusation. And what did you say? You're like, well, I don't know. I don't watch movies. Well, why would I take anything else you say seriously? I don't understand why the ball's in my fucking court. Pompish, hey, buddy, good to see you. He says, we've heard this argument a million times, talking about the argument with the women. Ashokatana, thank you, giving us a 1 to kick Embers back in the day. And Kanub says, goddamn right, Anthony, the content champ. You goddamn right. Okay, then give me another media. I understand movies are not the only media, but they're the most popular media and TV shows in America. I didn't limit it to movies. But sure, give me one that's not a movie. Give me a TV show. I'm waiting. games are not the most popular media. That's not correct. Okay, sure. Music is popular. I don't think it's as popular as movies, but let's take music. Give me hit songs in the last 10 years that say you should not have children. Gallardian, I don't know if there's any hidden messages. I think it's a fact that the Japanese government has been encouraging companies to help with their effort to raise or to work on pushing the idea of having more kids because their birth rate is plummeting. But I don't think it's meant to be hidden, if it is meant to be at all. Okay, fine, Carlos. Fine art, plays, and reading. Well, first off, fine art, plays, and reading are at the lowest. I read a lot, I assure you, and I go to plays a couple times a year, but most people don't do those things. The majority of adults in America do not read for pleasure. But that said, though, sure. Okay, name a hit play that has affected culture. Hamilton was the biggest musical of the last 10 years. That whole thing was about how much it wasn't all about that, but it was about how his son, Philip, basically ended up becoming like he was and dying, and how much it almost wrecked his marriage and how sad he was about it. So, Wicked. Okay. I've only seen the musical of Wicked. I haven't seen the movie, but where is Wicked about? What is the message in Wicked about not having children? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just kind of asking. I love Rent. Rent's great. You aren't capable of thinking about things beyond entertainment media. You're the one who mentioned it. You're basically you are, what's disturbing about discussing things with you, Ember, is that you're the one that calls in and likes to drop all these high school level, disingenuous tactic accusations. Oh, it's a straw man, or it's this fallacy or that fallacy, but you're the one who actually does it. I didn't bring up movies in mainstream media. You are the one that said that the reason this message is so prominent is it has been being pumped into our media. So when I bring up the most popular form of media, which actually is television and then movies, and then I ask, yes, you did say that. I can literally roll it back. But I'll give you another chance. What are you trying to say then? If that's not what you were trying to say, but it is what you said. I'm not going to, no, give me 5 examples of my no, stay on topic. Stay on, what about radio plays? That's a good one. Yeah, Amos and Andy. Yeah, you're right. Little Abner. No, you got me there. And It's a Wonderful Life is all about how important family is. Zuzu's pedals. Zuzu's pedals. Yeah. So, hell, somebody in the chat, if you agree with Embers, you give me an example. Hell, I'm just going to go to Chat GPT. I'm just going to ask it. Let's fucking ask it. I'm tired of this bullshit. Here we go. Not even, I'm going to go to Google Gemini because it'll talk. I don't even have to read it to you. All right. Turn on. No. Settings. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, can you hear me right now?
I can. Since we're in a text-based chat, I hear you as soon as your message hits my screen. If you're looking to actually talk back and forth out loud, you can tap the Gemini Live icon. It looks like a waveform in the mobile app. Hi, I'm Gemini. We're about to go live, where you can explore complex topics or ideas just by talking or showing what's around you. But before we get started, take a quick look at this important information. Great, let's get going. Here's one of the voices I have, but there's more to choose from. Swipe to give him a listen, or just tap Start to get chatting. You can always change my voice in settings later. Okay, I'm here whenever you're ready.
Okay, here's what I want to ask you. I'm doing a live stream right now, and I'm talking to someone who is claiming that the anti-birth, anti-natalism philosophy that they claim is taken root has come from a lot of messaging in media. And I'm trying to find out, like, what movies, what hit movies or TV shows or culturally impactful things in the last 10 years has pushed that message.
Well, one show that really explicitly dealt with it was the first season of True Detective. The character Rust Cole, played by Matthew McConaughey, had some pretty strong antinatalist views, like thinking human life shouldn't continue because of all the suffering. You could also argue some post-apocalyptic stories, like maybe Children of Men, though that one's older than the last 10 years, or certain storylines in The Walking Dead, where characters debate whether it's right to bring kids into the world in that state.
Okay.
Are you looking for...
Well, no, what I'm not suggesting that stories don't exist that have characters that express those ideas, but the idea that the vast majority, or not even the vast majority, but there is a overwhelming series of narratives that young people are being told through media and being brainwashed by media not to have children. I get the sense that these are exceptions that you're talking about, but the vast majority of mainstream entertainment doesn't seem to be that. Do you think I'm correct or I'm not correct?
I think you're largely right about the bigger picture. While you'll find themes of antinatalism in specific works, the overwhelming narrative in mainstream media still predominantly treats having children as a positive, foundational part of life. Think about how many sitcoms or rom-coms end with a happy family scene, or how starting a family is depicted as the natural progression for characters. It's definitely the more common storyline.
So I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's see if this works now. 1 second. All right. Anthony, are you there?
Jaffe.
Now it works. What's going on?
Nothing. I came down to my PC. I got word through the grapevine. People are like, come down, and I can hear myself talking through your shit. And people were like, dude, this dude who's on Jaffe's show is not good. You need to come in and save him.
Well, I don't need to be saved, but what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I don't really know what I want to talk about. We can talk about games. We can talk about Crimson Desert. We can talk about politics. We can talk about Israel. We can talk about why I can hear myself through your microphone.
I don't think you guys are not hearing an echo of Anthony, are you? One moment. Carlos, thank you for the super chat. I feel like I misunderstood what's going on. I don't agree with Ember at all. If anything, I feel the opposite has been going on, honestly. Yeah, they don't hear an echo, Anthony, so that I don't know what to tell you about that. Maybe because you need to be wearing headphones. But I don't know. Anyway, the point is this. Why did Gina move to Sweden? Hello?
I'm here.
Why did Gina move to Sweden?
Why does what?
Why did Gina move to Sweden?
I don't know what's going on with Gina. She just like needed space from America, so she went off to Sweden.
Is she living there, or she just is taking a long vacation?
No, she's living there.
Interesting. Okay. Do you know Prince died, 10 years ago today?
I'm aware.
Yeah. Good old Prince. Alien Bobcorn, favorite Prince song. Oh, man. I really like Raspberry Beret. I really like Baby I'm a Star. I really like Let's Go Crazy. There's a lot of Prince songs I like. All right. Well, Anthony, anything else you want to talk about? I'm going to let you go otherwise.
You can let me go, man. I was trying to help you out. I figure I come on. I haven't talked to you in a while.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. The mic's pretty bad. I can't really hear you that well. All right.
Weird.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Anthony. Thanks, buddy. Let's bring on Jack. Jack, it's Rose from Titanic. What's up, buddy?
Hey guys, what's up?
I'm good. What's going on with you?
Not much. I heard the Purple Rain. Purple Rain. That's the only song I know.
I never wanted to be your weekend lover. You know?
Purple Rain. Yeah.
You gonna go see the Michael Jackson movie, Jack?
Michael, the basketball player?
No, Michael Jackson, the singer. I don't think they made a movie.
The Bulls player?
No, the Bulls player. They have a documentary called The Last Dance.
He's a dancer.
Well, no, but they're using dance as a metaphor for the last few seasons of the Chicago Bulls when they were I think they won, 6 championships. So that was fantastic, Jack. But
like dance is a way to express sexuality. I got you.
It could be that. Now, let me ask you this.
Purple Rain.
Does it bother you to want to be a funny troll, and so far you've not even come close? You're like throwing darts, and now here's what's going to happen. I'm going to mute you for a second because I want to express this and I want you to hear it. Then I'll unmute you. Just give me a second. He hung up. God, what is with the kids today? I don't mind that he wanted to call in and crack wise and be a Weisenheimer. I got no issues with that. But if you're not going to be funny, then you walk away. What happened? What happened? I was raised with the Jerky Boys. I was raised with genuinely compelling, interesting crank calls. That was weak, Jack. You need to come prepared. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you, Jack? What's the matter with the youth? What's up with the youth, Corey Feldman? That's what I'd like to know. I didn't let him talk. What are you talking about, Ninja? I totally let him talk. Yeah, you got to bring the funny, Matt. You goddamn right. All right. I like how Embers is still waiting. Like he thinks I'm going to bring him back on. I'm not. I wanted $100. $100. And nobody wants to bring you on. I like you, Embers. You know I do. But I serve at the pleasure of the audience. They don't want you to come on. Gun says, I hope Jaffe's next Last Stand media appearance is call-in show. They haven't called me for a month. I think I really pissed them off or something. I don't know. But I still take a great deal of satisfaction that whenever I go over there, I see that my shows with Colin always wipe the floor with all of their other streaming shows. So, it's how it works, baby. It's how it works. I mean, it's how it works. And I'm a huge Colin fan. I bought his game. I tried it again today. It's too exacting for me. It's too fucking exacting for me. Colin said he was thinking of having you on Monday. Cool. He just has to call. I'll be there. That'd be great. All right, here's Bobcorn. Here's Alien Bobcorn. Haven't seen him in a while. How you doing, buddy?
Purple rain, purple rain.
What about this one? How's Darling Nikki open? I knew a girl named Nikki. I guess you could say she's a beauty queen. Met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating to a magazine. Said, how'd you like to spend some time? I couldn't resist when Nikki started to grind. Oh, Nikki, darling, please come back, Nikki. Anyway, what do you want to talk about, baby? How's the women? Are you making sure the women are getting water and fed?
Oh my God, we're still going to talk about the cages.
When the first thing you say when you call into the show is you have a bunch of women in cages in your basement, it's kind of hard to forget. Even Farnsworth, who's one of the dumbest people in the world, everything confuses him, says, Alien, show the women in the cages. He remembers.
Yeah, it's good times. I miss Madhouse.
I miss Madhouse too. Where's Bunny Button? Where's she at?
I don't know. She's not in the servers right now. The server is it's not a lot of people. But I want to talk about the new Metro. Are you excited for the new Metro game?
I am excited for it now that somebody has explained it to me, because I kind of always thought Metro and Stalker were very similar, and I guess thematically they might be, but
I think so, yeah.
I liked Stalker, but it was just overwhelming for me. It wasn't really for me, and so I wasn't all that interested in Metro, the new one. But then somebody said, Metro is more of a linear narrative experience. Then I got really, really interested. So I am interested now that I know what it is. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I like the 360. I played the 360 versions of it, the Last Light and other ones.
Yep.
And those are really good games. I enjoyed it. Like the story, like the atmosphere, like being outside and shit like that, you know.
Well, we're getting in the chat. Reggie's Metal says Metro is very linear, and then Exodus, which is the new one, or what's the new one called?
The new one is 2039.
So Exodus was the one that came after the first Metro, and that opened it up more?
It was Metro 2033, and then the other one was Metro Last Light, and then Metro Exodus.
Okay, but as far as we know, the new one is going to go back to being more focused and linear, not as open as Exodus?
Oh, I never played Exodus.
Okay. I hope so, because I don't want another open world Eastern European kind of vibe, but I'd love the linear. Listen to this, Bobcorn. Rasmus says, you can marry a person with the same gender in the new Fable. Media wants us to not have kids. I don't know if you're trolling and being a joker, a jokester, a Weisenheimer, or if you're serious. So let me know if you're absolutely serious, and I'll respond to it. But I cannot agree that the fact. So what you're saying, if you're serious, let's just pretend you are. What you're saying, if you're serious, is you would prefer a woman who would prefer, or a man who's gay, or a woman who's a lesbian. You would prefer those people enter into a marriage and have children with someone they clearly don't love and they're clearly not attracted to, and that would be better than normalizing a world in which the people who might want to be with a woman, if they're a woman and they're lesbians, might either choose not to have kids or might choose to adopt kids. Those options are worse than a woman being forced into a marriage with a man she's not attracted to just to have a child. Is that what you're saying? Because if you are saying that, I don't agree with you.
Yeah,
I don't really understand your point. Is that right? White says Fable forces you to be gay, Jaffe. Phil Spencer said this. Yeah, and they fired him. And they put in that new lady. So what do you want from me? He got his just desserts.
Wait, he got fired, Phil Spencer?
I'm pretty sure he got fired. I don't think he didn't leave on his own, because for him to leave on his own, and what's the woman who also left on the same day? What was her name? Whatever her name was, she was being groomed by him to be the next head. And so if it was like, oh, I retired because I wanted to retire, it was time. You know, when CEOs retire on their own, like Bob Iger, they groom their successor. They have time to bring those people up to speed. Sarah Bond was caught unaware the same day Phil Spencer was retired. So no, I think he had reached all the rope he could swing on, and that was kind of it, is what I think happened. It stands to reason, but I don't know that for sure. You got me. You feel me, Bobcorn?
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. How's life? You doing good?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying life. I'm grateful for it. I had to put my dog down a couple of weeks ago. I heard. Yeah, I love that guy, man. What a great dog. What a great dog he was. I miss him very much. I love my boy. Yeah, thank you for that. It's tough. It's tough. They're the sweetest little creatures when they are. Sometimes they're not. But anyway. All right, Bobcorn, I'm going to let you go, but I appreciate you being here.
Keep your head up, Mr. Jeff.
You as well. And listen, I don't care what they say about you on the streets. I know the real Bobcorn. Don't let them get you down.
Thank you, sir.
See you, buddy. There he goes off into the night. Here's Anthony. He's back. He
all right. I fixed the shit that was going on.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Tell me you have something to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about, you asked me a question about Gina, but I was hearing a repeat of everything you said.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Go.
I couldn't hear what you said.
I just said, why did she move?
We can talk about Crimson Desert. We can talk about Hades 2.
I want you to call in because you have something you want to talk about. I'm not I'm not.
I want
looking
to
for
talk
someone
about
to
how
talk
your
to.
show has nosedived.
Okay, talk about that. Go.
What is going on with your show that it only has like 60 viewers? Like, what is happening?
It has 137 viewers, not 60.
Right now, you have 137.
Yeah, now it's 123, but it's in that range. It's been above 100 most of the night. What about?
Don't you think you used to do a lot better when you cater to your fan base, as opposed to doing loud cow shit and hoping your fan base just follows you over there?
Well, no, I will tell you, being on LolCal has been really good for my pocketbook. I don't have a pocketbook.
Yeah.
Maybe I do. It's been really good. There's people watching now over here that came from there, whether it was when Madhouse moved or just they found me through doing Crypt. And so there's been some nice cross pollination, which has been great. I love doing Crypt. I don't do the LolCal stuff that you're talking about. I don't do the, put mustard up my butthole.
Well, I put ice cubes in your ass.
Yeah,
so
that was Mad. That was
do.
Madhouse on my channel. That was not on Madhouse.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm not saying I don't do wacky, silly, stupid shit. I do, of course. But I'm saying, though, that fundamentally, I don't. If you look at all the LolCal shows and you think Crypt is like that, most of what we do on Crypt is talking about Madhouse stories, aliens and weird science. And tomorrow I have a story lined up of the 5 philosophies that are most probable to cause someone to become a mass shooter. Like if you encounter one of these 5 philosophies, the science suggests that if you are going to go around the bend, it will be because you have this kind of thought running through your head. Right? Well, that's the kind of stuff we talk about on Crypt.
Let me ask you this about the mass shooter angle. Yeah. A gentleman named Pope, who happens to be African American, in my Discord channel was talking to me tonight and pointed out how no black people are mass shooters. Why is that?
That's a really interesting question. I've never thought about it. What did he suggest?
He didn't have a suggestion. He was just he just was pointing out that was a matter of fact.
I mean, let's be clear now. Ember's Arcade is saying that's categorically false. Let's be clear. I'm assuming this is what Embers is talking about. There is a category of mass shooting that if it's above 3 people, it is a mass shooting.
Well,
right. And so, yes, you could say that, well, mass shootings at that scale, that's different. But I think what this guy was talking about is the ones where someone comes into an office building or a school and kills like 20 people, not gang related violence or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, my guess, if I had to just randomly pull something out of my butthole, I would say there is a lot from what, again, this is just me spitballing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
but
fine.
There is, I have an assumption that I think is based on just hearing about these people's motivations, that a lot of these people are feeling thrown away, put upon, not listened to, not respected. And when you have an expectation that your life will be the opposite because you're a white male, and a lot of white men are raised to think that everything's supposed to go their way, which is why the highest suicide rate is like men who are 40 to 50 that get to middle age and go, wait a minute, I was supposed to have the hot wife and not be divorced and have the big house and the cool car and all the money. And that was promised to me. That's my birthright. That's why they have the highest suicide rate of that age. My guess would be maybe black kids aren't necessarily raised en masse to feel as if they deserve to be treated the way a lot of these mass shooters are angry that they're not being treated. But that's just a guess. That's an
interesting hypothesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more of white people care about, this is just my perspective. White people care about everybody's problems. Like there's always some basic white girl who's going to get involved in everything.
Wait, you don't mean care? They're up in everybody's business. You mean?
Yeah, they're up in everybody's business. There's always some basic white girl who's you're gonna insult somebody, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that because of blah, 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 blah." And like if you notice, like Dominicans, Mexicans, Black people, um, all the races, none of them do this. This is strictly a white person thing to get aggravated by just general shit and take it upon themselves to fix it.
It is a good point. It's an interesting question. I don't know, but it's worth looking into as just an interesting conversation. I'm interested. Moop says, what about the DC sniper? Well, you have a good point. Now that one, and again, I will say on that particular case, you know, you got to give it to that guy. I mean, what an awful person. But that said, that was pretty fucking creative. Like enough time has passed now. Like you can make 9/11 jokes. You can kind of look back at that. If you don't know, the DC sniper is the guy that got in his trunk and drilled a hole in the back of his car with a protege, and they were sniping people all over. I think it was Washington, D.C. or Washington State. I forget. And they couldn't catch him because they would basically kill somebody from the tiny pinprick hole in the trunk and then get on the freeway and drive. And so there was never any rifle to find or casings or whatever. They had a mobile assassination station. It was very clever, but he was awful, of course. Danny Sullivan, thank you so much. He says hello for the super chat. Alien Bobcorn says I'm cringe. Ashokatana says I have a crush on Kaylee Spaney. So the Elden Ring movie is a must watch for me. Who is Kaylee Spaney? Let's look her up together. Is it a lady or a man? Kaylee from Ted Lasso. Kaylee.
Look at K-Nubs. Look at K-Nubs saying, you know, I was just starting to think this show needs to bring back the racism.
All right, she's cute. She's cute. Yeah, I like her. Oh, she was the girl in the goddamn motion picture show Civil War. She was the photographer. Got it. Oh, shut up, real. I'm not praising the DC sniper. I'm saying, though, you know, just like you can look at some of the Joker's crazy plans and go, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, no, if you got a pinhole type of thing going on with your gun, that's pretty smart. Anna G,
what's up, champion? How are you, bud?
What's up?
Not much. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
So you're talking about the whole black shooters and stuff. Did you see that guy, the one from California, the singer, finally got arrested?
Oh, the guy David.
David. Yeah,
I don't
David
follow
got
his
arrested
music.
for killing that girl. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a girl in his trunk they discovered, and I guess it was. They say he was the one who did it. I don't know if he's been arraigned and he's pleaded guilty or not, but
he's last I saw, I think he was pleading not guilty, but I'm sure
I don't know how he's gonna plead not guilty when he's the last one that was with her and they found her in the trunk of his car in 2 separate bags.
Yeah,
he's using the Shaggy response, right? He's using that tactic. So.
The Shaggy response.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I'm just reading the chat right now. It's hard to prove cause of death, says Nathan. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's innocent. I hope he gets off, but I don't.
The coroner apparently has the cause of death that they just haven't released yet, and they're going to release tomorrow.
But now, is this guy somebody like his music though? Like I'd never heard of this guy, but I'm 54 years old. Was this a guy that had like 5 top 10 hits or something, or what?
Yeah, he's pretty. He's like, I mean, he doesn't have a lot, but the way he got famous was he did a lot of Twitch streaming. I don't know if it was Twitch or YouTube. It might have been YouTube because he started using music like copyright music from like, you know, Jay-Z, Beyonce music, and he would get taken down And so one day his mom told him, well, then just make your own music. And so, like, he already had a following. He had a huge following already. So I mean, he's.
Anna G, are you sick? Are you sick, buddy?
Yeah, I just got over being sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Listen to this. The poop guy's got a good point. What kind of innocent person drives around with a dead body in their trunk?
Yeah.
Like holding this for somebody else. The quartering is dead, like metaphorically or literally dead. What do you mean? David Wilcock. Is David Wilcock the UFO guy? I heard that he committed suicide, but I don't know if that's actually the case or not.
Oh, the government got him, Jaffe.
Well, he was a big UFO guy that talked a lot about that shit. And but he then I heard they don't have proof he's dead, but a lot of these UFO people are, getting knocked off right now somehow. But the quartering is dead. Is that true? I never liked that guy. I've had him on the show once as an interview, but I did not care for him. Where did Lynx go?
The quartering. Is she in the?
I just saw her, and then she vanished.
Hop back in, Lynx.
Yeah, the quartering peas in his basement drain. He might. It wouldn't surprise me.
Who's that?
Ember Arcade says, "I have the audience I deserve." Ember's worries a lot about my audience. I think he means well. I think he's looking out for my best interest. But Tech, where did he go? Where are you in or out? Tech,
would that kill yourself?
I don't understand. I don't understand what he's doing. Lynx, it's Jaffe. What's up, bud?
Oh, hey, Lynx.
How are you?
Good. How you doing? Thank you so much for the beautiful statues you sent us of my sweet little boy Ace. Man, we appreciate that so much.
Oh, Jaffe, I'm so sorry.
Did you guys have a hard time?
One moment, you guys. Anthony, talk. Anna G, talk.
I'm so sorry about your dog. My deepest condolences.
Oh, I think.
So we're supposed to talk. Lynx, what's up? How are you?
All right. How are you, Anthony? Long time no speak.
Yeah, I know. We haven't talked in about 6 months. No, I think everything has been going good over on my end. Like, I have opportunities coming my way, and so I'm hosting all that stuff up. I'm recording an album that comes out in July. At least I'm supposed to be recording it.
Any famous artists
I'm not
you're gonna
doing
have?
so yet.
Any collaborations you're doing?
No, it's an album with the intention of selling the songs to people. Lynx is gone now.
Gosh dang it. What happened?
God damn it, Lynx.
Dang it. Did you scare her off, Anthony?
I didn't scare her off, Anna G. Don't be like that on Jaffe's stream too.
Oh, it's okay. He's on the phone. He has no
I haven't done anything out of pocket. I almost called somebody the R word earlier, but I didn't do it.
Yeah, you don't want to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if it was allowed in here or not.
I don't think Jaffe likes that word.
I'm not saying it's not my contention whether he likes it or not. It's my contention whether it's allowed in here or not.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if he doesn't like it, I would assume that he doesn't allow it. But I
do a lot of stuff Jaffe doesn't like.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Yeah.
Featured on his show. Like always, he did my show 3 times, and I love you for it, Jaffe.
He ain't even paying attention, but yeah. So congrats on your album. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'll take the congrats once we.
Red sheets. You're probably right, but I have no idea.
Once we wrap on it, I'll take congrats and until the dawn, as they say.
So
I'll take congrats on it when it's wrapped and
done.
done.
So is it like a solo album or deserve.
No, well, it is a solo album, but the purpose of the album is to sell it to other artists.
All right,
like I've
all right,
always
we're
done.
losing viewers, fellas. We're losing viewers.
Losing viewers.
I'm gonna let you guys go.
Bye, Jaffe.
Bye, Anna. Good to see you as always, baby. Thanks. I can't believe I called you baby. Is that offensive? I didn't mean to call you baby. I just did.
You've
though.
called me that before.
Is that okay? It's what came out. It's what came out. I called you baby. Sorry, buddy.
You're good,
All right.
Jaffe. Bye.
Thanks,
Later.
All right, Anthony. Final words.
David Jaffe, I love talking to you. I'm sorry about your dog.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I did hear through a little bird that everybody was upset that Sarah is in my channel and you told Tech Protect, well, maybe Anthony's giving her something you're not, and Tech Protect came to me all pissed off about this.
Well, I was clearly making a joke.
I know, but he came to me all fucking up in his feelings about this.
Well, I can't. That's a Tony Anthony. That's a tech thing.
Yeah, I know. That's a Tony thing. I know.
I know what you're talking about.
I'll let you go. I know you want to move on. So,
all right, we'll see you, buddy.
Later.
Okay. Listen now. Yeah, you do need a brand new mic. That's true. Links, I will talk to you in a bit. I think I do have to wrap up the stream real quick though. But thank you so much, Links, for sending us that statue. It means a great deal. Our poor sweet boy. But it sits right next to his ashes. We're gonna put the ashes inside, and thank you for that, buddy. All right. I do have to run. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for the calls. I'll be back tomorrow on Locale at 9 a.m. and then we'll be back with streams here tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll get the capture card working so we can do the retro game treasure games, but those will definitely be being played this week, and we'll be talking about the games that influenced Twisted Metal. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Super chats, Anna, memberships, means a great deal. And I'll see you soon. All right. Bye, everybody.